Brett, is it fair to assume Joel is going to be a game time decision today?
That is correct.
So what is the process like for you in terms of communicating with him about his soreness? Is that just you wait until right before the game and he just says, I'm good to go? Or is that,
Pretty much.
are you getting constant updates from him?
I mean, this is what I've learned, because this is a repetitive situation, as in Philadelphia we know, and now here we're sharing it with New York. And this is just my personal strategy or approach, that I'm able to absorb to whatever the news is. Like, I have plan A and plan B. And I think that our guys have grown to realize the same thing. And so it's the best I can explain it. It's the truth. And, you know, we go with whatever we got. And, you know, if he can't go, you know what I'll do. And if he can go, we'll you know, absorb him back into this and welcome him with open arms.
Brett, you've tightened the rotation, and they're still going 9 or 10 deep, and it seems like, especially the last two games, it seems like that's really worked for you guys. You've been really effective playing your regulars a lot, and just talk about the difference that that's made.
Well, it's directly proportional to James Ennis' health, kind of end the story. And you know, when James is able to go, you know, 18, 20 something minutes, then you feel like you've got what you need without burning guys down, and we can sub it effectively. Back when, you know, he either wasn't available or there were minute restrictions, that luxury strategy, call it what you want, didn't exist in my eyes. And so, to your point, yes, we did do what you said. I suspect we'll do it again. And probably the outlier for me is Jonah. You know, where does he factor into this? If a track meet occurs tonight that does not favor Boban, we have, I feel, an answer in Jonah.
Just to follow up on James Ennis, obviously his minutes were low in game 2 and they ramped up on game 3. What have you seen from him in terms of the impact that he's tangibly making when he is getting these more minutes that you speak of?
Make a shot guards. You know, I think that had he not had the 4 turnovers the last game, you'd have been really pleased with his overall performance. I think that he tried to, you know, maybe do a little too much just out of playoff excitement. He really hasn't played much basketball, so to speak, lately, NBA games, certainly playoff games. And hadn't it been for 4 turnovers in 19 minutes, you would have walked out of there and say, you know, there's some good value. He missed some shots that normally he will make. You know, when you project out, you're always wondering in game 4, mightn't it go to a small ball game? You know, might they just roll out a bunch of guards? That could happen. Might they sit in the zone? That could happen more than they have. And in that environment, if you predict out and say I'm right in any of those areas, then James especially, you know, I think even has a greater role. And so I see James's performance the last game sort of with all that in mind.
Coach, if Joe doesn't go, will Greg Monroe get started again?
Yes.
Brett, you talked in Philadelphia about trying to buy time for Embiid. So winning without him in game 3, does that accomplish that and put you in a position where you're kind of playing with a little house money today?
See, I don't see it like that. I understand your question, but I really don't see it like that. I think that and I've said this before, the dynamics, the structure of the NBA playoffs from a psychological standpoint is fascinating. And the notion of comfort scares the life out of me. I don't ever feel comfortable. And I don't even think like house money, doesn't even come into my wording, my vocabulary. And so if you can get today, you know, you take a lot of oxygen out of the series. It's not, again, the be-all or end-all, but it's a significant blow. And so my whole thing with Joel is and always will be, you know, and it's dictated by the doctors more than the coach, is what harm are we putting him in? What unnecessary harm are we putting him in? If the answer is none, well, you know, you play him, and then it gets down to the answer is, you know, whatever level it is, then you question it. But to like hold on to him and house money, I don't see the world like that at all, and I'm certainly not coaching that way to this afternoon.
Hey, Coach, Kenny was just up here talking about his possible lineup changes and saying that he's not going to divulge what he's going to do because he doesn't find out what you guys do until like 5 minutes before the game.
Me neither.
Yeah. Is there some gamesmanship going on? Is there a tactical?
No, for me there isn't.
Is there a tactical advantage to have Joel's status up in the air at all?
Well, maybe it works both ways. I hear the question. Maybe there is, but it's certainly not calculated. There's not a like clandestine, you know, motive behind this. It is what it is. We've been doing this long enough to, I bet most people believe me, that this is just the way it has played out. So, from a tactical standpoint, I mean what I just said. Neither do I. We can text each other 5 minutes before and compare notes.